Okay. So we'll start with a small kirtan. Hare Krishna, everyone. I see we have someone new joining. Okay, Pooja Mataji. Hare Krishna. Uh,
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for joining. Um, you are requested. How did you get to know about this session? If I ask.
Uh, my Jetimoni.
Okay. Sure.
Mm,
Thank you. Okay.
welcome.
Okay. Okay. Um, sure. Let us start with the kirtan,
Okay.
and I will request all of you to be on mute as we do the kirtan. First, I can do, and after that, all of you can repeat after that, being on mute. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाखया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लङ्घयति गिरिं यत्कृपा तमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्येश्वरं हरि ओं तत्सत् आनन्दलीलामय विग्रहाय हेमाभ्यदिव्यच्छविसुन्दराय तस्मै महाप्रेम रसप्रदाय चैतन्यचन्द्राय नमो नमस्ते चैतन्यचन्द्राय नमो नमस्ते चैतन्यचन्द्राय नमो नमस्ते गोविंद गोविंद गोपाल नंदलाल गोविंद गोविंद गोपाल नंदलाल गोविंद गोविंद गोपाल नंदलाल कृष्ण गोविंद एवरीवन गोविंद गोविंद गोपाल नंदलाल गोविंद
Govinda,
गोविंद
Govinda,
गोपाल नंदलाल गोविंद गोविंद गोपाल नंदलाल गोपाल नंदलाल गोपाल नंदलाल गोपाल नंदलाल गोपाल नंदलाल everyone गोपाल नंदलाल गोपाल नंदलाल गोपाल नंदलाल गोपाल नंदलाल कृष्ण गोविंद गोविंद गोपाल नंदलाल गोविंद गोविंद गोपाल नंदलाल गोविंद गोविंद गोपाल नंदलाल
Govinda,
गोविंद गोविंद गोपाल नंदलाल गोविंद गोविंद गोपाल नंदलाल I will just mute everyone, but you are definitely free to come. You are definitely welcome to be on video also, okay, and join, okay. I'm not able to see anyone, but yes, we'll continue. And now, as we continue, in your heart, just try to think of the most beautiful form of Krishna that you have seen. And then let us try to chant very helplessly, that is, oh Lord, without your mercy, I am nothing. I really need your mercy. Please beg you for your mercy. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. जय प्रभुपाद की जय, हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय, जयम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शतश्री श्रीमद डिवाइन ग्रेस अभय चरणारविंद शिल भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी शिल प्रभुपाद की. एवरीवन से जय. आनंद, यू कैन नाउ म्यूट एंड से अनम्यूट एंड से अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय.
जय
नामाचार्य शिल हरिदास ठाकुर की जय.
जय
प्रेम से बोलो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय.
जय.
जय
जय.
वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. I'll once again mute everyone. मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदिनतारणं परमानंद माधवं श्रीचैतन्येश्वरम्. हरि ओम तत्सत्. Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you for joining. And I am very, very grateful for all of you taking time to join on Saturday. Um, Pooja Mataji, thank you for joining. Pooja Mataji has joined us. Pushpa Mataji, thank you for joining. And I was able to relate to Pooja Mataji.
you are welcome.
Thank you. And then we have Prachi Mataji also.
Yeah, she's my cousin.
Okay. Yes, thank you.
She's from Bangladesh.
Yes, thank you for joining.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. So I will just quickly do a recap since we have some of the new members who joined. I want to do a recap. We did two sessions prior to this. So the first session that we covered, we had some stories there, but I'll not get into the details. But out of those stories, there was one question that was asked, and the question was, does God exist? And then I thought that, okay, it will be very, very important for all of us to understand fundamentally, how do we know that God exists? Each of us have different experience, and more or less everyone thinks, yeah, God is there. But how do we objectively understand that God does exist? What kind of role is God playing in our life? Forget about who is God. We'll come to who is God. Okay, but does God exist? How do we have a conviction that God exists? So last last time we had that topic which covered objectively, does God exist, with various examples. Okay, and some of you were already there. Does anyone want to share any of the anything that you remember from the previous class? I just want to make sure that, okay, as we move along, like through these classes, we also remember like what we have captured, so that like, okay, I know Kalyug memory is, I have a very bad memory. So please forgive me. But in Kalyug, the memory has been, Srimad Bhagavatam says that the memory starts degrading. And in I just want to make sure as we move along, we remember what we have covered, at least from the fundamental core concepts. So let me ask, like, okay, does anyone of you remember? And you can raise your hand. Any examples, anything that you want to share from the previous session? Yes, Parul Mataji, you can start. Then I can see Shama.
So I totally agree about the memory. That's why I take notes. So I'm going to cheat a little bit. I'm
Yes,
just
yes,
going to
that's fine.
quickly look at my notes because I relate back to the notes. Anytime I have
That's
question
fine.
and need to know further.
I'll be
But
very
like I
honest. I
said
also
in
do that.
and also concentration, so if I take the notes I can concentrate better. My mind is not going off other than what I need to hear from you, so I appreciate that. Sources, like I said in the beginning, you mentioned about the sources, so that pretty much everybody that we have here, we do believe in God, but the source, you said, where the, if one who doesn't believe in God, if you just think, where the actual source came from. So that was very, very good, touching, marks that you mentioned, that kind of, touched my heart, that yes, anything that we come um get to know, like our human body, where the source is. We know we have parents, we have grandparents and great grandparents, but where is the main source? And then you went deeply in the pramans, so that was very fascinating. I really like the three pramans that you talked about. First was pratyaksha, so anything that you see in front of your eyes, but at the same time, we do have doubts about that too, right? So second praman was anuman, which I believe is guessing. The knowledge we acquired through, we speculate actually, and then shabda praman. And then I remember Shama Karuna my had a question about, like, how do we uh, the bona fide guru or a person, how do we know if they're talking, whether it's the true? And I had related question about the YouTubes and stuff. Um, and I think I have a lot of notes, but I think I'm just gonna summarize over there. So
No, this is
hope that was
perfect.
okay.
Actually, this is perfect. Thank you so very much. That gives a very gist of very wonderfully that you have captured. And thank you so very much for sharing, Parul Mataji. And I think Shama Karunamay also has something to share.
Yes, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Parul Mataji has s- given all the points so wonderfully. She has remembered all these things. That was very inspiring that she's taking these notes. And apart from that, I remember the example that you had narrated, the incident of Einstein, of uh,
Newton.
Newton, that one of his friend, when Newton said that God's creation is amazing, the creator is amazing, and his friend was like, what's wrong with you? You are a scientist, and you believe in all these things, that there's someone called God who has created this. And then Newton doesn't say anything, but after a week, like when his friend comes and visits him, so there was something kept on his table, and Newton's friend comes and sees it, and then he's like, "What is this?" So Newton says, "I have no idea." And the friend says, "You
And
must be
just
joking."
to and just to add to that, that was a solar system model actually.
Yes.
It's okay. Where did you get it from? Yes, please continue.
So, uh, so Newton's friend actually like uncovers the cloth that was covering that thing, and then he sees the solar system created, and then he appreciates Newton that you have created this so beautifully. And then Newton says, no, this is not done by me. I just came this morning and this was here on the table. And his friend gets very annoyed that, what kind of joke is this? It's like you are just uh, extending this joke beyond the requirement. Like, you joke once and it's done, but you're just saying the same thing repeatedly. So so then Newton says that, see, it is so difficult for you to accept that something as small as this, just a sample of the solar system kept on my table, has come by itself and nobody has created it. Then how is it that you feel that this entire creation, this universe, which has so many things and so many intricate detailing, the sun goes in its orbit and the earth moves around it on its orbit, and the time is calculated, everything is so calculated. How can you really believe that nobody created this, and this is a result of some blasts, some big bang theory? So that's when the friend gets defeated, because he realizes that obviously, yes, if a small thing, even a small machine, even a small remote is created by somebody, then how is it possible that this entire universe has just happened all by itself without anybody creating it? So I really loved that example.
Thank you so very much, Shamakundan Mataji. And through this, I want to share one realization actually. So we see people around, like, okay, sometimes it could be us also. We say, okay, I don't believe in God. Okay, that means like, okay, someone whom society calls as like they don't have faith. Does this seem relevant? Like, has anyone heard this? Okay, this person does not have any faith, right? Right?
Yes.
Right? So the thing is, there is no one actually who does not have faith. We have to understand this thing. Everyone has faith, okay? But where we put our faith is important. So let's say if we get into a cab, or if we get into a train, or if we get into a flight, we have a faith that the driver or that pilot, he is a bona fide person actually. He's going to take us to a place, take us to the right destination. I mean, if we know that okay, the person who is sitting in front, like, okay, he has never driven, okay, then that's not going to work. See, if we go in train in India, Indian Railways validates that okay, that this driver who is there, whoever the train's driver is there, that person is certified. So the bona fide institution is Indian Railways. Okay, if we go into a cab driver, when someone is in a thing, then the licensing authority, motor driving licensing authority of any country, any city, okay, they are licensing this person to drive that cab. That way, we invest our faith in that. See, when we even when we uh, nowadays there is this weather channel, right? So we look at weather, we put our reasonable faith in that weather, and that is this is about material science. But in material science, although when we put our faith, okay, are there accidents not happening? There are accidents that happen. Okay, if it is this, we may see that sometimes, like, okay, whether we have thought it would be like this, but weather turns out to be different way. It was supposed to rain, but it became sunny. It was supposed to be sunny, but it rained. We have experienced this, right? So this is a very common thing. So in material science, there are things that go wrong. And this goes to the point which Parul Mataji was sharing. We were sharing about the Pratyaksha Pramana. So in Pratyaksha Pramana, okay, direct perception of the senses, like, okay, our senses are imperfect and things could go wrong. But the best way of looking at it is Shabda Praman. I will not go into more details, but for those who joined newly today, I would request you to uh, refer to that session. And if you have any questions, then we can certainly take that up in our next session. But today, so last session, I want to once again summarize. We touched upon the point, does God exist? We have not, we have, through those points, we have understood the conclusion was yes, God does exist. We will be covering in our future session, most likely in our next session, that who is God? How do we understand it? Subjectively and objectively, how do we understand that? But today, we are going to talk about ourselves, the jiva, it. And by ourselves, I don't mean just human beings. I want to talk about all the jivas. Jiva means any living entity. Okay. What are we searching for? So, does anyone want to make any uh, guess what we are all searching for?
Happiness.
Happiness. Yes. Yes, happiness. Sushmita Mataji is searching for peace. Eh, Um, yes. Sushmita Mataji is now searching for happiness. Okay. Okay. Then she's searching for good health also. And no one else is searching for anything.
When you look at happiness, I think it depends. It has a broader definition, what kind of happiness. So I agree with peace, yes.
Okay. 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 So let's look at this. Like, okay. Okay. Sumita Mataji is saying happiness. So okay, let's look at this, what we are searching for. And what I will do this time is I'll go ahead and share something so that we can all watch this and we can all come to a it is true that okay, see, if we think about peace, um, peace, yes, we are looking for peace, but let's look at it objectively. Sukh, Shanti, and Anand means Sukh means um, s- the the English definition of Sukh and Anand goes to happiness. Okay, but uh, but in but the way Sukh means like okay, does anyone know like okay, what would be the word closest to Sukh? Let us, for the time being, let us put it as uh, happiness. Okay, Sukh is for bodily happiness. Shanti is for the mind, and Shanti is again peace, and beyond that is the word that goes in English dictionary, which is happiness only, but higher than happiness is bliss, which is for the soul. So I gave one example in an earlier session. Let's take this example. So our Puja Mataji and we have Prachi Mataji also. So they are students, and here a uh, lot of others are here who are working. So let's take like okay, as a student, sometimes like okay, um, you like, or anyone for that matter, you like some set of food actually. Let's say you like gulab jamun. You're about to have gulab jamun, and this is the best thing, and you are in the most comfortable setting because the body wants comforts. So you are in a nice car, you're in an AC environment, and you have just got this gulab jamun mahaprasad, and you are about to have it. And let's take, for example, if it's a student, they get a call that, okay, hey, you know what? This year you failed, and you completely failed this year, and you have to repeat this year. Now, this gulab jamun is your favorite thing. Or if it is someone working, then you just receive a call and you hear that, okay, you have been fired from your company. Now, now this is your favorite gulab jamun, but now and in the past you have always enjoyed gulab jamun. But given this scenario, will you be able to enjoy the gulab jamun? Will you be able to enjoy the gulab jamun?
Yeah.
You will be able to still enjoy the gulab jamun?
Yeah.
No,
No.
I think
No.
instead of sweet, it'll taste like bitter.
Yeah, right. Because now your mind is disturbed. You have failed the session. You have lost a job. Okay, and you will be completely. Or let's say your most dearmost family member is in the hospital, is in ICU. So so at that time you will not be able to enjoy it anymore. Which means that beyond physical level, your mind takes control. Similarly, sometimes if the mind is disturbed, okay, if you are catering to the if you are catering to the soul, then in that case, if you uplift your soul, then the mind will be uplifted. What we are trying in these sessions, what we are trying through Krishna Bhakti, what Srila Prabhupada gave us is how do we uplift our soul? So, with that in mind, let us go and study. As we look into these slides which are upcoming, I want you to deeply reflect in our own selves. Okay, everyone will have a different reflection, but as we look through this, reflect upon your own self, okay, that where do we stand? You will correlate, and everyone will have different reflections as we go through. But please hear attentively and please watch this very, very carefully because this will have imprints that you will take. And if you watch this attentively, then as you go further, okay, you will be able to see how you'll be able to objectively observe your own self, what your likings are. So, with that, we start this. Let me know once my screen is visible. Is it visible?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So, we are all looking for happiness. Okay. And let's see what does this happiness mean? Okay. So, everyone is trying to find happiness by various means. So this boy, small boy, as a small child, he's happy with a balloon. As he grows a little bit up, he needs a tricycle, and then he needs like this kind of some kind of a game, and then different type of he needs a girlfriend, then he's earning money, and then he, they are looking for happiness in grandchildren. Okay, as the person is growing old, it is the same person, but the definition of happiness is constantly changing. So, and here are some examples. So, so if you see here, like, okay, this someone is trying to look for happiness, okay, in means that are just give me one moment here. Yeah, someone is trying to look for happiness in fashionable clothing, in trying in trying to get some fashionable garments or whatever, like different fashionable things. Other may not find joy in that. Some other may find happiness in doing some daredevil acts. Like okay, earlier I have not seen. I know there are a lot of people who do this um, motorcycling and things like that, but lately this paragliding and many other things. Many do ocean diving, right? So they find happiness in this. Some they have different kind of sports as hobby, and they find joy in doing that. Okay, they find happiness in playing some sport. Some others find happiness in intoxication, in parties. Okay, they are most happy when they are in this kind of engagements. And then, like, So, so through this, what we see is there are improved facilities for eating. Okay, we need the best food whenever we are going. See, think about it. If we are going anywhere, we try to plan for what we will eat in our route, right? It could be anywhere we are going. We are just thinking about, okay, what are we going to have food there? We try to make plan for it. Okay, it's about sleeping. Okay, um, where are we going to stay? Is it going to be comfortable for us? Even if we are traveling by train, if we try to say, okay, if I can afford, am I getting a reservation in the AC compartment? Okay, am I getting the best seat in the flight? Right? And then there is in mating, right? Like, okay, having a uh, having a partner, like, okay, and then there is uh, defending. Defending means like, okay, if wherever we are staying, we try to see that, okay, that is it is it a safe place to stay? Okay, I mean, no one is going to stay in a place where there is already a war zone. Like, okay, so nowadays there are security systems. Like, okay, people put at home. So we just want to make sure that, okay, we are secured at all times. So these are improved facilities for happiness. Now, if you see animals, animals also have friends. Okay, animals, they have no matter which animal we are talking about, but they also have friends. They also have fun, and they also have family. Many times we look at our family, okay, and we we tend to ignore animals who may also have a family. Um, Sometimes people uh, they are very loving to dogs. Um, they find dogs as very lovable, but the same persons, like, okay, they may find they may find that some other animal breed. It could be it could be a chicken, it could be a lamb, it could be any other animal. They find that, okay, I can kill that animal. So that is something like, okay, to think about internally. Okay, is this the right thing to do? Then if you see, like, okay, the animals also find joy in eating. Okay, they are happy. Okay, they also find happiness in sleeping. They also find happiness in mating, and they also find happiness in defending. And this example of dog, you might be very familiar. Like, okay, if um, for India, for Bangladesh, if you see, like, okay, nowadays in US we can't see, like, okay, because most dogs are very silent. But in India, Bangladesh, we can see that, okay, there are so many. If one dog changes, like, okay, it passes from his own area to another area, the other dogs will start barking at him. Um, so this is can we can see that there is something which is common here. So eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. Um, this is something like we are doing. Animals are also doing. Okay, they are common in human beings and in animals. Very important. See, this is something for those of you who are listening. Like, I want you to very objectively listen to this. Okay, this is very common in human beings and animals. So then, what is the difference between the human beings and the animals? Where exactly does things stand out between human beings and animals? I want to take a pause here and I want to ask here, like, does any of you think of anything that is difference between human beings and animals? Anything? You can raise your hands. Yes, Shamakonami. I want to see if there is anyone else. Nandini Priyamataji, I want you to speak as well.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Yes.
Like the difference is like
What
we
is
can pray yeah, like we can pray and we can become a
we,
devotions, but animals
animals
can't do it like
can't do that? Okay,
uh,
fine. Okay. Yes. Okay. I will ask Shama Kurunamai. Okay. I'll ask Anangmai Chitra and then Shama Kurunamai. Yes, Anangmai Chitra. Oh, it is not getting unmuted. Okay. Try now.
I think it's that we can think and ask questions.
Okay. And what does Shama Kurunamai think?
Yes, on the same lines, we have intelligence to question, um, to understand higher things.
Okay. Let's see what Sumita Mataji says.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So, and there are no rights or duties in animal society. So they just live upon their physical power, whereas human understand, or they have the instincts or reflex behavior or the rational behavior what they have, human beings.
I could not. Can you
Human,
just, yeah, can you just slightly elaborate this?
yeah, human
Okay.
can think about everything, and whatever they do, they know what they are doing,
So
or
your point is intelligence, like, okay.
yeah, intellect, logic. They can add their logics, whereas
Okay.
animals are incapable of reasoning.
Okay. Let's
Yeah.
see then what we have here. Now let us go back to this. Pooja Mataji, you want to add anything? And Parul Mataji, do you want to share anything?
No, I agree with all. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So then let's see. Let us go back to this. So we said, okay, what is the difference? So the basic thing that comes to our mind is, does animals lack intelligence? Right. So some of you said that. I'll skip through this. So animals also have rational power and intelligence. In some cases, animals are even better than human beings. So now I'll give an example of this. If you take the spider, weaving that spider net, it's a very complicated task actually. In fact, scientists have been trying to understand how do they weave it. So um, they have this. If you see dogs, they are very highly intellectual actually. Um, so they can sniff, they can find out like what is happening. Even animals have a concept of this family, and they are very responsible in terms of the family. I had the opportunity to go to um, Lions Park in Johannesburg, and there I saw that okay, every day they would feed the lions. So they would get some flesh, they would feed the lions, and when they feed the lions, that time like many human beings, like they come in their cars and they watch these lions being fed. So like about, I don't remember the exact number, about 50 to 100 lions at that time they came like, okay, to eat. But when they were given the food, they don't just jump into that food and like, okay, it. They go by the hierarchy. First, the head of the family eats, then the next set, then the next set, that way. So they are very structured in that way. So, but in this case, if you see, human beings have advanced technology. Of course, animals don't have that. So um, animals have the rational powers, they have intelligence, which they apply in some of the domains. But then human beings, I agree to some extent that they have the power to question. That is something that the animals don't have. I think Shama Kurumai and even Sumita Mataji was saying about that instinct. So animals go by the instinct, but human beings, they go by their rational power. Uh, Human beings, they have that ability to question. But despite all of these, in the modern day, human beings are what? They are dissatisfied. They are full of anxiety. They are stressed. They are depressed. And most and above all, they are unhappy. Having everything. Okay. And I was asking someone, like, okay, 2 days back, like, okay, see, think about those time, like, okay, when we were children, okay, where people had simple life. There was no IT and things like that. People had lesser salaries, but they were relatively contented. Okay, now the lifestyles have become fast, but through that, has the level of happiness increased or has the level of stress increased? So I was questioning that actually. So this is the nature of the modern day human beings. And so if you analyze it, the technological advancement is helping man to enjoy better luxuries for eating, sleeping, mating, and defending without offering true inner joy of heart. Okay. How many of you would tend to agree on this? Maybe you can raise your hands. Like, do you find this relevant? Like, okay. Okay. Only one person agrees with that? Okay. So without real uh, joy of the heart, like, okay. So this is what is this is what the current situation is. Okay. And so in the animal kingdom, if you see, there are there are no there are no riots, there are no suicides, there are no divorces, there are no drug abuse. This is not there in the animal kingdom. Okay, this is there in the human society. There's no competition like that, right? And but this exists in the humans. This exists in the human side. So what makes this human being superior to animal? Okay, this is something to reflect upon. Actually, we should think about it. How is it that the human being is so differently? Okay, and why we are saying is because we have to understand what is the rare thing that we have. So our scripture says in Mahabharata, in Hitopadesh, it is said, Ahar nidra bhay maithunam cha samanya etat pashu bhinaranam dharmo hi tesham adhiko vishesho dharme nahi na pashu bhi samana. Ahar nidra bhay maithunam cha means eating, sleeping, defending, and mating. This samanya etat pashu bhinaranam. This is actually common in animals and human beings. But dharmo hi tesham adhiko vishesho. That human being, like, okay, is considered to be superior when he is considered dharmo hi tesham adhiko vishesho. That human being who is inquiring about the spiritual science, about the wisdom of, like, okay, who am I? Who is God? What is his creation? What is his laws? Like, okay, who is asking about these higher questions? Like, okay, what is the secret of this inner fulfillment? How can I be joyful at every moment? That so this he- then that person becomes adhika vishesho. That means that person becomes very that human being is becomes very superior. Okay, is to be considered superior. Otherwise, what happens? Dharmena hina pashubi samana. Otherwise, they are just considered to be like two-legged animal. Who scripture says, like, when I saw this, like, okay, uh, when I came across this, I was like, this took me aback. Like, okay, this was like it it made me think 10 times. Like, what am I doing? Okay, because I was in that position actually, being a two-legged animal. So now animals, they can inquire about eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. But the human being can inquire about higher principles, life, death, and beyond. See this, if you go to National Geographic Channel, right? I will give you a challenge. You open this anytime during the day. Anytime you go to this National Geographic Channel, anytime. And whatever information you will find, right, it will be relevant to this eating, sleeping, mating, and defending only. There is nothing other than that. Okay. So, but the human beings, they have been empowered. Whether they can, whether they are doing it or not, that's a different thing. That is why it is said they can make the right choices in life. Whether they will do or not is up to their desire. So, what is this inquiring about higher principles? What kind of inquiry is this? Are we talking about? Who am I? Okay. Then, does God exist? We touched upon this point. Does God exist? Okay. Then, what is the secret of success? Finding a true guide. See, we all see when it comes to think about this, I want to reflect upon this point and I wanted to hear very attentively this thing because this is something like I'll be very honest. I never like I we always want to be happy. So I never thought when we go to see we want to go to the best school. Why do we want to go to the best school? So that we can get the best kind of education. We want to go to the best college so that we can get the best kind of education. Why? Because we need a good job. Why do we need a good job? So that we can earn more. And I'll be very honest, I came to this country to earn money. Okay. And so you want the best facilities, right? But when it comes to you take any school, any college, they don't teach you how to be happy. After having the best school, best college, best job, best pay, we have people who are not happy. And no matter who that person is, it could be, it need not be happiness. It need not be unhappiness due to a bad job. It could be they are they're having a very well paid job, but they have a problem in their relationship. It could be a very good job, but they are struggling with their health, or they are struggling with the health of a loved one. Or it could be a very good job, but then someone in their family passes away and they're depressed. So Bhagavad Gita, okay, is the science of which teaches us how to be happy. And to get to that, we need a true guide. So finding that true guide is very important. And who is that true guide? That true guide is Krishna, his his bona fide representatives who are there to hold us, okay, to take us forward. So then questioning, okay, is there life after death? Now think about this. When we go to a job, right, we all want a better position. So ha- have you come across anyone, like, okay, who has joined the job and after 50 years he retired in the same position and he's still happy? Ah, I joined as a clerk and I retired as a clerk. Okay. And I joined whatever salary I was getting that time, and now also I'm getting the same salary and I'm very happy. It will not be like that. We all need upgrades, even if it is the same position also, but we need upgrade. But we all aspire for a better position. If someone joins as a team member, they want to be a team lead, they want to be a project manager, they want to be a program manager, they want to be a VP, they want to be a CEO. These are all the aspirations going in. And someone may think, okay, during joining, like just as a training, they may think that, okay, oh, if I could be a program manager one day, when they become a program manager, suddenly there is a next level. They have thought about it because that is how our mind is. But whatever we are doing in this body, have we thought, is there life after death? Where is my destination? So this is something to think about. Who is the supreme person? Okay, if like I'm who is that supreme person? Like, okay, can we get whatever we want in life? Isn't this an interesting question? Like, can we get whatever we want in life? How many of you think that this question is interesting? Uh, that if we can get whatever we want in life, have you ever desired like this? Yes, yes. So we, yeah, this, see, these are the kind of questions that we have to ask. Okay, and then there is, oops, how to achieve unending happiness, how to be always happy, how to make impossible into possible. How do we make destiny, or destiny makes us? If God is one, then why there are so many religions? Have any of you thought about this? Like this thing, like, okay, why there are so many religions? Why is it like this? Uh, in my childhood, I used to think like this. Okay, why there are so many religions like this? They speak different thing, like, okay, but they, if there is just one person, why do bad things happen to good people? Have any of you thought about this? I used to constantly think about this. That why do bad things happen to good people? Even the vice versa. Has this question struck anyone? Why do good things happen to bad people? And why do bad things happen to good people? You can raise your hand. Yeah. So no one has, this question has not struck anyone? Okay. Thank you for being honest. Yes, for another. Yeah, this is something, okay, each and every question will get answered if we are able to attentively hear. So this, there is, everything is being answered. So how to make the right choices in life? Now, so we talked about, like, what are we searching for? We talked about this happiness and the different aspects of this happiness. I want to take um, 10 more minutes. This may extend by 10 more minutes, but this one, I want you to go with a reflection when you go out of this class and observe your own self, what qualities you have. You don't need to share this with anyone, but this, whatever you hear from now, will tell you that exactly where we are placed. Okay, we are going to talk about divine versus demoniac qualities. Okay, now please make sure one thing, that these qualities that we are talking about, we should only be judging our own self. We should not be judging others with this. Okay, this is something that, okay, we should use only to judge our own self, not to judge anyone else. Um, and with that, we go into this. So there are, like, good fruits are being considered as divine qualities and bad fruits as demoniac qualities. Okay, some say, like, okay, it's like good dog and bad dog. These dogs are sitting in our heart, and both dog, like, they're barking, like, okay. In fact, my spiritual master, His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, like, he gives this example that these dogs are barking, and the dog that barks higher, that dog wins. But let's see that what these are. So it reflects positive and negative thinking, and how do we understand these? I'll just skip through these and we will. So, so there are three qualities: goodness, passion, and ignorance. Goodness means sattva gun, passion means rajogun, and ignorance means tamogun. Now, please hear this very, very carefully because I want you to analyze your own self. Okay. And as I said, you need not share with anyone. If you feel comfortable, you can share it. When we share, right? When we share anything that we are struggling with, okay, to someone, okay, who can help us, then somehow or other we are able to come out of that. That can be like, okay, like if you want to share with someone, like, okay, privately, that can be done. But but please hear this very carefully. So we start with the mode of ignorance. So firstly, I want to tell that okay, these three are in the order. Goodness is higher quality, sattva gun, passion is next, rajogun, and ignorance is the lowest, tamogun. Let us see where we are in. Okay, mode of ignorance. Ignorance means in Sanskrit it is said nidra, alasya, and pramad. Okay, what are these qualities? Number one, laziness. We feel very lazy. We oversleep. We are inattentive to things happening around us. We tend to postpone and we are dull. Okay. We have a sense of hopelessness going on within our heart. We are sometimes depressed. Okay. We become mad and there are suicidal thoughts that come to our mind. Sometimes we feel intoxicated. Okay. We feel like taking intoxication. We feel and get intoxicated. We are confused what's going on in our life. We tend to act foolishly. We are indecisive. What do we do next? We feel a sense of insecurity, always fearful, okay, whatever is happening. And we become panicky, we cry sometimes, and we do not give any thought process. This is the mode of ignorance. Next, we are talking of mode of passion. This is Sangha or Trishna. In Sanskrit, that's what it's called. It is symbolized by lion. Okay. There is partial thinking. These are generally the people who are very over ambitious. Okay, you might see in corporates, achiever. Yes, we have to meet these goals, right? We have seen many people like that. Okay, you have to come first in class. There are parents who are telling teachers. There are parents who tell that okay, who will come first, right? And that's how what they are doing is they are not just that they are in the mode of passion, but they are putting the children also in that mode, actually, mode of passion to see and show glamour. Facebook is an example. We try to reflect in our Facebook, okay, what we are. And if you see in this case, what happens is like, okay, Facebook is actually, if you go and see in the real life, is that is all that is happening every time? No, it's not like that. It's the glamour industry is just like that. You just see a portion of it, but that's not what it is. There is cutthroat competition in this mode of passion, and you are always in the rat race to come first. What has happens as a result of that? There is pride, and if you are unable to meet that, you become very angry. And generally, such type of people are individual player. Okay, they stand out of the crowd because they are achievers. They take decisions in a snap. They are very attached to what they are doing. Okay, it could be their child, it could be their job, and they have very bossing tendency. Okay, and this bossing tendency is very, so they are always, they try to put down everyone around there. And there is always a thirst for honor and prestige. What do people think about me? Am I getting good many likes? And finally, they are very envious of others. Okay, no matter um, whether I am happy or not, but how is this person? How did this person get so much? This is the mode of passion. See, we should reflect upon this because these are the qualities which cannot keep us happy. And then we have the mode of goodness. It is called the mode which is Sukham and Jnanam. This is a mode where we have cleanliness. Okay, there is regulation of life, regulated eating, regulated sleeping, regulated in activities, disciplined life. There is simplicity in life. Okay, there is thoughtfulness, always thinking, thinks well and decides. These are noble and saintly characteristics that are there. There is creative thinking on how do we move forward into our next steps. Um, there is realized wisdom. We'll come to what this realized wisdom means. Um, there is tolerance. People may people may be there, as you can see in the picture here. People may be there, like, okay, they may be screaming at the person, but they tend to tolerate. Okay, there is submissiveness, and because of wisdom, there is forgiveness. And how does one tolerate? It comes through a controlled mind. We already talked about discipline. There is obedience. These type of people tend to be compassionate, and their senses are controlled. Senses means their eating is controlled, what they watch in their cell phones, in their devices, that is controlled. What kind of what kind of what kind of activities that they are doing is controlled. They are generally calm and clear. They're friendly. So that is the mode of goodness. So I am stopping the sharing here. I see Parul Mataji's hand is up. Mataji, do you have any question? You can unmute.
No, I actually was just agreeing to something you were saying. So
Okay, okay,
yeah,
okay,
I'll untake that. Yeah.
okay. So typical. So the thing is, what we were seeing is that the three modes that we saw. Now, a question may come in our mind, like, okay, that sometimes what we have seen through this, we may see qualities which were in multiple modes. Does anyone agree on that? And if you agree on that, you can raise your hand. That that my qualities falls in multiple modes actually. So we have a okay. Thank you for being honest. So so it is for everyone that our qualities. Yes, thank you, Mataji. So it is for everyone that we have uh, items that fall in multiple modes, and through that, typically, that is how it is. We are in that multiple modes. But if we have to be happy, then we have to go into the mode of goodness. So this shows one example, okay, of people like who are there. If someone is in the tamasic mode, okay, they are lazy, sensuous, inactive. Uh, they could tend to be, if it gets too bad, they could be, they could land in the criminal or lawbreaker area. If someone is in the rajasic mode, they are typically businessmen, or they could be like like people with high fame, like uh, the sportsman or the people in Hollywood or Bollywood, those kind of people. Uh, People in the man, sattvic mode are generally man of perfection, but there are combinations also. So sattvic and rajasic both, if if there is a right combination is there, then that person can have be a noble leader also with vision. So this is just one example that I wanted to show. And there are also combinations of tamasic and rajasic which are possible. Sometimes, like, okay, if the predominant quality of sattvic may be less, but tamasic is more, and everyone has all the three modes. It's not that one person is always tamasic, or one person is always rajasic, or one person is always sattvic. It is just upon how the person is cultivating these attributes in the long run. Uh, so the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita uplifts one from the mode of even from the mode of tamasic to the mode of sattvic. Now, does anyone know how many Purans are there? I am sure our Shama Karunamay will know. Yes, Shama Karunamay, do you want to say that how many Purans are there and how many of them are in sattvic, rajasic, and tamasic? Okay, Anangmay Chitra also knows. Please share. Any of you can share. Are you unable to unmute yourself?
Yes. There are 18 Purans.
How many of them are in mode of sattva gun? Okay, there I think she's having some audio issues there. So there are 18 Purans, out of which 6 of them are for uplifting those people who are in the mode of ignorance, that is tamasic. There are 6 Purans which are for uplifting those who are in the mode of rajogun, that is passion. And there are 6 Purans who are in which are for uplifting those who are in the mode of goodness. So we have to, if one wants to be happy, then we have to get to the mode of goodness. Okay. And there is a mode above goodness also, that is called Shuddha Sattva. Okay. If one is in that Shuddha Sattva guna, then that person remains always happy. No matter what happens, that person is always happy. So, how many of you really want to get to that mode? Shuddha Sattva, always blissful and happy. If this is our objective, then this is something like, okay, which where no person, not at any moment, like, okay, you will be able to get to that level where you are unhappy. If we want to get to that, then it is important that what we need to do, I will share like one prayer that we can start. See, as we go through these classes, it is very, very important. See, we have, on one hand, we are trying to understand the message of Bhagavad Gita. Okay, the message of Bhagavad Gita will give us understanding of Krishna. Okay, it will give us understanding of like who is God, how do we objectively understand him, and what are his qualities, what is our relationship with him, how do we build our relationship with him, and on the on and what we can do to start building our relationship with him. So one of the things that we can certainly do is we should pray and we should chant. So in this Kali Yuga, in the last session I was talking about, in this Kali Yuga, this Hare Krishna Mahamantra has been considered to be most effective. So one who chants this mantra what happens is they are trying to make a connection with Krishna. Okay, and we are asking, the Hare Krishna Mahamantra says that, okay, oh Krishna, please engage me in your service. Okay, this is the meaning of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So if we, before chanting, if we make this one prayer, that, oh Krishna, I may have a lot of problems. And I have seen, like, now you have seen these slides. And if you objectively observe within yourself, you will see that, okay, all of us have. It is not that, okay, we are someone like, oh, I only have bad qualities. No, it does not matter. We could have tamogun, we could be filled with tamogun, that is okay. But if we, what we had in the past, Krishna doesn't look into that. But if we think that, okay, Krishna, from this day, I really want to be sincere and make this prayer that, Krishna, please make me a pure devotee. And what does pure devotee means? Pure devotee means that person who can be engaged in your service. That does not mean that we leave our family, we leave everything and we go into a jungle, Himalaya. We may have different conceptions of this. No, it does not mean like that. That means whatever we are doing, we are trying to bring Krishna in the center of our life. Okay, and by bringing Krishna in the center of our life, we want to become purified so that we can understand his calling on how he wants to how he wants us to serve in a way that is most pleasing to him. The the family that we are serving, if we understand, oh, Krishna is giving me a wonderful family. See, there might be problems. See, one character may be like that, one character may be somewhere different. It may not be very gelling well with us. It's fine. But if we tolerate and if we always try to pray to Krishna that, Krishna, please make me a pure devotee. I want to chant with that consciousness. I may do one mala only. Okay, and I may start with one mala. I may do two mala, whatever number of mala I am doing. But when I am chanting, I want to hear your words very carefully because this is my only service to you. This is my direct service to you. I want to hear each and every word very carefully. And just by doing that, okay, we will become very dear to Krishna. If we hear our mantra very clearly as we are chanting, if we pray that, okay, we want to be a pure devotee, because when we become purified, right, we get directly into Lord's, we are engaged in Lord's action. And I'll give you one very simple example to understand this. See, our heart has a lot of contamination, no matter, and I will tell about myself, like, okay, before, see, when we are in this material world, right, we think that, okay, we are doing great. This is my reality. Okay, I used to think like, oh, okay, I'm doing so great. When I heard all these things, when I heard this Krishna Katha, I understood, okay, this Sattva, Rajo, Tamogun. I said, okay, I'm in Raju and Tamogun only. Okay, I do not have a tint of Sattva Guna. Now what do I do? So, but when we associate with devotees, when we hear these classes very sincerely, and when at that time when we have a desire that, okay, I want to get purified, no matter how many contamination are there. See, think about this. When we do bhoga for the Lord, right? We clean the utensil and then we make the offering, right? Then we make the offering for Lord. So similarly, if our utensil is dirty, we cannot use it for Krishna. If our utensil is contaminated, we cannot use it for Krishna. If our utensil, if we are that utensil, if we are contaminated from within, we cannot be used in service of Krishna. If once we become purified, we will be engaged in service of Krishna. And what is the easiest way to do this thing? What is the easiest way that our prayers get heard very quickly? To approach a pure devotee, Srila Prabhupada. If we make this prayer in front of Srila Prabhupada, we may not have a Prabhupada picture at our home, no problem. In your cell phone, just take Prabhupada's picture and just talk to him that, Prabhupada, I really want to become a pure devotee. I want to engage in the service. Please engage me in your service. Please engage me in the service of pleasing Lord Krishna at every time. And with that consciousness, just chant. See, mark my words. This, if you are really doing it with that aspiration, it will really make a deep impact. And every day you will make progress. Um, and you can write the date actually. 6 months from now, you should observe yourself. If you are really attending all the sessions, and if you are hearing the classes, if you are being attentively hearing, and if you are chanting regularly, this will definitely make a deep impact and every day will progress. So, with that, I would conclude the session. Um, ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, गीतोपनिषद की जय, हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की जय, गौरांग कुठी भक्त वृंद की जय. I want to ask if anyone has any questions or any comments. You can raise your hands. I can see some raised hands, but I think they were already raised earlier, so I'll just lower everyone's hands. And if anyone has any question or comments, you can share now. You can you can unmute and you can share, or you can raise your hands. Okay, I am not seeing anything. No one has any comments or questions. Final call, or else we'll close here. Yes, Puja Mataji.
I have one question.
Yes, sure. Sure, Puja Mataji.
Um,
Firstly, before you go to that, was this helpful?
yeah, just a minute. We have steps below the earth. We have steps above the earth. So I want to know their names.
Okay, we will cover that. We will get to that. So there are, you are talking about the planets which are above and below the earth, right? We will talk about that. But for this particular session, do you have any question?
Uh, I want to. I don't know this name. Like Shorgo, Norok, and I can't
Yes,
remember this name.
yes. We will talk
But I
about that.
yeah, but I don't know seven steps. I don't know. I don't know this name.
Yes, there are 7 planetary systems above and 7 planetary systems below, uh, which are heavenly and hellish planets. But we have not reached there yet. So we are just covering very basic things. You are way ahead. So for this particular session, are there any particular questions, Puja Mataji? Uh, I I just want to make sure that, okay, why I don't want to go there is I don't want to confuse everyone. So if for this particular session, if there is any question, then we'll cover that. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay, fine. Okay. Anangmi Chitra, yes.
This was a very nice session, Guruji, and it had a lot of um, very nice details, and the way you structured it, it was very easy to grasp and understand. Thank you for that, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. So all glories to Guru and Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. I am just a very insignificant servant. It's just like loudspeaker. So in the when we go in those villages, sometimes when they have programs, there are bigger loudspeakers near the pandal where it is set up, and they have smaller loudspeakers in the streets where the voice can reach far across. So Prabhupada and the Guru Parampara is the big loudspeaker. And I am just trying to be a small menial loudspeaker, trying to share what I've heard from this parampara. And this presentation has been very wonderfully made by a very senior devotee. Um, and I thought that this will be relevant. What I When I come for these sessions, I think about what would be most relevant when I share in this time that you are spending. So with that objective, I thought, okay, it will be most appropriate. Thank you for your comment. Hare Krishna. Yes, Parul Mataji.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhuji. I like that after each session, you're giving us a homework to do. So that kind of gives me the introspect that I should be doing on my life and how I can get better. So I really appreciate that. Doing homework after the session, for that 7 days until we meet again next Saturday. That's one way to get better in our life if we're lacking anything.
Thank,
So appreciate that. And thank you for your time. Hare Krishna.
thank you very much, Parul Mataji. Hare Krishna. In fact, I was thinking that once we continue to do this for few more weeks, if things look favorable, then we will start something very interesting. That is some quizzes where we are able to reflect on what we have heard in the past, which will keep us attentive. Some of us who have not been able to grasp those context in the previous classes, that way we uh, all are able to move forward together. Just keeping in mind that story of the photographer where all the children, they go to eat the chocolate together. Because there is no joy in eating alone. If we share, then that is the greatest joy. But thank you so very much, Paral Mataji, for sharing. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Sumitra Mataji, you can unmute. You are having some, I think Sumitra Mataji is having some trouble. The sound. Um, okay, I think um, we covered this. So please try to reflect on this. Those who have joined newly, they can hear the classes from the previous sessions. Okay, that way you can catch up on this. And if you have any questions, you can ask in the next session. Or if you think that, okay, there are any questions you have, you can even ask in the group as well. Once again, thank you so very much. I took 30 minutes extra this time, so I really sincerely apologize for that. Please take care and wish you a very wonderful week. And we are heading towards the new year. Just prior to the new year, we will have something specific to the new year and the new year, what we can do in the new year. Please take care. Hare Krishna.